Well, considering that this took nearly 3 years to build, it was quite astonishing that it only took about 3 hours to reduce back to this state. I've removed quite a lot. And this is one of those good news, bad news videos. Bad news is, this is the end of the Airbus Mark 1. It was always only going to be Mark 1, but there are other numbers available, plenty of them. And the good news is that it's down but not out. I'm converting it into a single seat cockpit of a more generic design, and let's talk about that for a minute. So if you've been reading my blog, you know that I've been having a problem with the Wilco Airbuses not working with my throttles. It's a setup that's worked perfectly for 2.5, more than 3 years maybe, and suddenly it won't work. I don't know why. The throttles work perfectly with every other aircraft, and everything else in the Wilco Airbuses works. I've tried 3 different downloads of the different versions, different sources if you like, of the Airbuses. It doesn't work. The throttles don't respond correctly to the hardware, so the aircraft is unflyable. So that's why I'm stopping. That's why I've stopped and changed direction. This has always been an Airbus cockpit. It was designed to be an Airbus, and it doesn't really work with anything else very well because everything's laid out to be an Airbus. Particularly the screen cutouts, I think that's my main problem. Switches and stuff you can work around. I mean, the lights turn the lights on, the nav lights turn the nav lights on, the heading changes the heading. It doesn't really matter what the airframe is. You can work around that, generally speaking, but I can't work around the screen cutouts, and that's become a problem. Another reason why I'm stopping is that I'd really like my living room back. It's kind of hard to show you when you see the videos just how much space this cockpit takes up in my living room, and basically it dominates the room, it takes up the entire room. And I'd like some comfort back. I'd like to be able to sit somewhere comfortable when I'm watching TV for a change after 3 years. So it's now going to dominate my bedroom instead and take up all the space up there. And yes, I've heard all the jokes about, how much it must be a chick magnet. Yeah, it's not, funnily enough. But hey, it might as well be taking up room upstairs instead of downstairs, so I'm not too bothered about that. So those are the 2 reasons primarily why I've stopped and decided to change direction for now. I still want to fly. I think some of the problems I've had have really hit my morale in that front. I've really been pissed off and reluctant to fly because I keep thinking about the things that aren't working. So let's try something different. I'm going to borrow a bit from Sim Samurai's philosophy. If you haven't seen his YouTube channel or his website, check it out, simsamurai.net I think it is, but Google it, you'll find him easily. He's a very nice guy. He's got some great ideas, a lot of great ideas. So I'm going to change the screens around, remove my cutouts for specific monitors in the Airbus, and just display the entire surface area of the monitor so that I can use more of that acreage, that screen area. It's going to be a single seater, so I'm reducing the pedestal down by 1/3. I don't need that extra panel. I'm experimenting with the idea of maybe having a side stick, but have it in the center, have it between my legs like a fighter cockpit. Maybe, I don't know, but I'll have a look at that. I'm going to put some radios out to the left of me, reduce the size of the whole thing overall, tweak it a little bit, maybe make it a little bit more polished, if you like, in the finished product. I'll also be mounting it on top of a platform, a full solid base. My room upstairs has carpet, so that wouldn't be ideal anyway. But I think, no matter how good you cut it, you're still going to have little wobbles and little problems like that. So if it's all mounted on a solid base of MDF, then I can secure every component onto that in a removable kind of way, because I do need to be able to take it apart again. So nothing's moving around, you don't bump into something and it pushes the pedestal out by an inch or whatever, which is kind of annoying when that happens, and it happens a lot. So that's another thing that I'm going to do. We'll finally get some big monitors. So many of you have complained about the teeny monitors, and I know it's annoying to me too. but I should be able to get maybe just one giant monitor or possibly even a projector if the room can fit it. That would be nice. An advantage of doing it this way is that the overall cockpit will be much smaller, probably about, what did I measure out yesterday, about 1.5 meters wide. It'll still be the same depth, but it'll be only 1.5 meters wide compared with about 2.5 meters wide. So the prospect of putting a full shell around it, or at least a decent enclosure, comes to life a little bit more. It's more in reach, whereas in this room it just isn't, unless I sacrifice my television and everything else. So I'm not prepared to do that. So that's why we're stopping. We're changing direction. The goal to build a proper Airbus is not dead, but until the software problems are resolved, or realistically we get a better Airbus, I've got to stop and recognise the limitations of what I can do with a Wilco. And to be honest, there's a lot of limitations. So that's the plan. The website will remain up and running. The videos will keep coming as I develop this new idea. I'm still available to be contacted and answer your questions and help you along, and do whatever I can to help. So feel free to continue contacting me and dropping into my website. Please use the forum on the website. It's quite annoying when people post me questions, particularly as comments under pictures and stuff, because it's difficult for me to reply to those, and other people can't get the benefit of what you are asking and the answers, if the answers are of use, of course. So please use the forum on my website, www.shamrock075.webs.com. Thank you very much.